What's up guys, it's Aaron from Rudy Visuals, and in today's video we are reviewing this little guy, which is the Hollyland Lark Max. This is a wireless microphone kit that has a range of 250 meters. Now Hollyland are a company that's been around for a good few years now. They make some really good wireless microphone kits, wireless video transmitters, monitors, that sort of thing. And I feel like they've got pretty good pedigree now amongst, you know, filmmakers, videographers, that sort of thing. Now a microphone kit like this is perfect for people who are filming stuff like this outside in the wild. There is, you know, wind noise, there's some traffic, so I think this is going to be a really good test of how this thing performs and whether this is going to be worth your money or not. And by the way, a big thank you to Albert from Hollyland who sent us this microphone kit for free to review. As always, this is not a paid or sponsored review, but all thoughts and opinions are fully independent. Now the Hollyland Lark Max do come in at around £300, so they are quite a lot more expensive than quite a lot of other microphone kits out there on the market at the moment. So for example, the Rode wireless Go-2s, they're about £50 more than these, and I feel like these are sort of the gold standard, because not because they're the best sounding, but because they are really popular. They're from a brand that's really reputable and well known. So I think what we'll do is we'll compare them side by side so you can sort of listen to yourself and figure out which one sounds better to you. So on the left side I have the Hollyland Lark Max, and on the right side I have the Rode wireless Go-2. So let me know if you can hear a difference. What I'll do is I will just play one track followed by the other track so you can hear it sort of side by side. Now both of these do have their windshields on them, which should hopefully protect them against some of the wind here. It's a little bit noisy. I'll also just stop talking so you can hear how it picks up the ambient wind and sound and background noise as well. And obviously you can use these microphones for other use cases as well, for like more creative things like sound effects and stuff like that. However, I think most people buying these kinds of wireless microphone kits are primarily using it for dialogue in situations like this, like vlogging. Actually, I feel like the Lark Max does sound significantly better. The tone of my voice is a lot richer. There's a little bit more bass and clarity, whereas the Rode wireless Go-2s, they sound decent as well, but they're a little bit bright on the higher end. They're a little bit tinny, ever so slightly too tinny. Just straight out of the camera, for me the Lark Max wins, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Now I'm definitely not like an audio expert or anything like that, I'm just kind of an enthusiast, but to my ears they do sound like a really big noticeable step up from kind of the cheaper wireless microphone kits that we have reviewed on this channel before. So just right off the bat, spending that extra money is definitely worth it because you are getting superior sound quality. Now a really big benefit of microphones like this is that unlike a shotgun microphone, if I'm moving to and from and away from the camera, you're still hearing the same leveled voice. So that makes it possible to shoot scenes like this with good audio in through your vocals without needing to have a sound guy somewhere hidden in the shot following you around. Now one thing I really appreciate is good build quality, and one thing that the Hollyland Lark Max has in spades is good build quality. For example, the actual carry case itself is really well made. It has this really nice soft touch material. It feels really premium and it feels, you know, it feels expensive basically. And the actual transmitters and the receiver itself also have that nice same soft touch material. They're really light and robust feeling, but they just feel like they're expensive. Now if you compare that to the Rode wireless Go's, for example, the Rodes, they feel really plasticky. They feel almost toyish actually, whereas the Hollyland Lark Max feel like they'll survive a little bit more harsh treatment. I also really like the idea of this little magnet clip that you have at the back of the microphone. So you can just use the clips to clip it onto your shirt, but sometimes people are wearing clothes that it's a little bit hard to do that. So what you can do is literally take the magnet off, put it under your shirt, and then clip it on like so. So it just shows that someone at Hollyland has been thinking about it, and yeah, it just makes sense. The charging case is also really handy because you can basically take this on really long shoots and basically keep charging your receiver and your transmitters as you're shooting. Now the transmitters lasted about 6 to 7 hours on my testing, but that basically goes up to 22 hours with a fully charged case. And with the receiver you're looking at about 8 to 9 hours. So I think for most people's shooting scenarios this is more than enough battery life. And one of the huge massive selling points of this microphone kit is that there's actually 8 gigabytes of onboard storage with up to 14 hours of backup recording in uncompressed WAV format. So that means you're basically able to record through your camera, but also record a separate audio track on your microphone. So you can imagine how useful it is to have 2 separate tracks, just in case, you know, for safety or as a backup. Now the microphone does come with a noise cancellation. Now I prefer usually to do these things basically in post, but we'll just test out how it sounds because obviously this is a great place to test it out with all this wind and stuff. So to activate it, you just press this little button here. You'll see a green light turn on, and now the noise cancellation is turned on. On noise cancellation with other microphones, it does a decent job, but then it kind of removes that bass from your voice as well, which you kind of want to keep. Whereas I feel like with this, it does remove it slightly, but it's not too much, and it also hasn't removed too much of the top end as well. Now again, I prefer just to do these things in post myself, but it's just great that the option is there, and it actually does a pretty good job as well. So again, thumbs up. Now the actual total range of the Hollyland Lark Max is about 250 meters. So bear in mind that only does work if it's line of sight. So if you are filming like with physical obstructions in a way, it might not get up to 250 meters. In our experience, we found that having obstructions does reduce it quite a lot. Basically, I'm gonna run that way 250 meters and we'll see if it's still working. Okay. So according to my watch, that is about 100 meters. So hopefully you can still hear me. Can you still hear me? Give me a thumbs up. That's a thumbs up. So I'm gonna go up to 200. So I'm about 200 meters now away from the camera, and it is starting to break up ever so slightly here and there. So I think if we push it any further, maybe around here. So we are now at 200 meters according to my watch, and you can hear me, I hope. So we'll go in the video about here. So something to bear in mind is that if you do have your back turned, and I was only literally 20 meters away, it will cut out as well. So just something you have to really make sure that the receiver and transmitter are seeing each other. So overall, I think the Hollyland Lark Max is a really impressive sounding microphone. It's just a shame that we couldn't get that exact 250 meters. We were sort of pushing 200, 210. That being said, you've got to really ask yourself whether you really need 210 plus meters. I can't really think of too many situations where I really need that much of a distance anyway, so yeah, just something to keep in mind. So while this is a little bit more expensive than some of the other microphones that you can buy on the market, I actually do think that these are probably worth spending that little bit extra money because they do sound so much better. Anyway, that's going to do it for this review. If you liked this video and found it helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to see more. If you have any questions about the Lark Max or microphones in general, let us know down there in the comments box, and I guess I'll see you on the next video. Off my run now. Bye.